This is the best sounding carbon fiber acoustic guitar that I've ever played, and it's surprisingly affordable. The guitar that you're seeing and hearing is the Enya X4 Pro. This is Enya's top-end carbon fiber acoustic guitar. After spending the last couple of weeks with the X4 Pro, I feel like it's an absolute bargain at the $600 to $700 that Enya asks for it. Let me start by sharing some things that I absolutely love about the X4 Pro. The first is that it has a huge sound. And what I mean by that is that it projects really well. So not only you as the player can hear it, but also the audience, whoever's listening to you, it really projects loudly, and it's a full sound. It's not just the highs and mids that are getting out there. You get a lot of the bass as the audience, but also the low end comes back to the player because of the sound hole position, which is clearly an untraditional sound hole position. Sound holes are typically right here under the strings, but having the sound hole up here in this corner actually gives a lot of the bass and the low end of your playing back to the player, which is really cool, and I really dig because I like that punchy sound, and this helps with that. Another thing that helps a lot with the sound of this guitar is that it comes with Elixir strings, which if you're familiar with my channel, you've heard me say a million times, Elixir strings are my absolute favorite strings. I put them on every single acoustic and electric guitar that I own. A few of the reasons that I love Elixir strings is, number one, they improve the sound of every single guitar that I put them on. They really genuinely sound better than other strings. Number two, they are very comfortable to play. The coating on them makes them really smooth and slick under your fingers, which I personally really love. And number three, they last way longer than other strings, so you don't have to change your strings as frequently. So all that said, the fact that the X4 Pro comes with Elixir strings is huge to me. Huge thumbs up on that, Enya. Thank you. And the last thing that I'll share that I love about the sound of the X4 Pro is that it comes with some built-in effects that are controllable from a little control panel up here that typically has just volume and tuner controls, but you actually have some built-in effects controls here. You've got two different kinds of reverb. You've got room and hall reverb that you can control, and you also have chorus and delay. And that's all controllable here, and that can be used acoustically, so completely unplugged, or you can plug it in to an amp or a PA system and use those in integration with whatever system you're running your sound through. And all of this is part of what Enya calls their Acoustic Plus system, which is on all of their X4 guitars. That includes a traditional acoustic guitar pickup as well as a piezo, and you can kind of dial those in and control those independently or blend them together to really dial in the exact sound that you want out of this guitar. Now, moving on from the sound, the second thing I really love about the X4 Pro is the durability aspect. Now, if you're unfamiliar, there are a few reasons why you might choose a carbon fiber guitar like the X4 Pro over a more traditional wood guitar. And the biggest one that most people talk about and think about when they're talking about carbon fiber guitars is the durability. Carbon fiber guitars, especially carbon fiber acoustic guitars, are much more durable than a traditional wood guitar. So not only is a carbon fiber guitar like the X4 Pro more resistant to typical damage, like let's say it getting knocked off of its stand, or you bang it up on the top of a stage, or you accidentally drop it, slips out of your hand, your strap breaks, whatever. Traditional damage things that can happen to guitars, a carbon fiber guitar will handle those better, but also things like environment changes. If you're playing a traditional wood guitar and you're traveling with it, whether you're gigging or whatever else, or you're on tour, or you're just going on a trip and you want to take your guitar with you, if you're going from a place that has relatively normal humidity or high humidity and you travel with your guitar to a place that has much lower humidity, maybe it's the mountains, maybe it's the desert, or you're just passing through one of those areas, if you don't take proper precautions with your traditional acoustic guitar, wood acoustic guitar, you can actually cause major damage to it without even realizing it. I've seen pictures of guitars where the entire body is just split, or there's cracks on the top, the neck, or the headstock cracks, things like that, and it can in some cases be irreparable damage. With a carbon fiber acoustic guitar, you do not have to worry about that at all. These kind of guitars are just completely immune to any of those kinds of damages. And another thing I want to share about the durability of the X4 Pro is actually the guitar case that it comes with. This is legitimately the nicest and toughest acoustic guitar case that I have ever used. I am just completely shocked and floored by how awesome this case is. It's so tough, I can actually like stand up on this case and put my full weight on this case, and it doesn't cave in or even really squeak or creak or anything like that, which I would not do that with any other case. It's so nice, and it's really, really tough and rugged. It's a little heavy, so if you're carrying this around a lot, that might be a small con, but man, like I don't think I've ever trusted an acoustic guitar case the way I trust this case. It's so nice, the latches are great, and it's got a ton of them. I always forget because there's like extra latches more than any other case that I have. There's like either 5 or 6 latches. The inside is very nice. It's like this kind of quilted finish, super padded, really tough. Of course, it has a pocket and some paperwork is in there right now. But man, I am just so impressed with this case. And I really, really legitimately trust this guitar case more than any other guitar case that I've ever owned, which to me is just a really big testament to the Enya X4 Pro's durability, because not only can you trust that the guitar is going to be okay taking it wherever you need to go, but you can also trust that this case is like so tough that it's just not going to get broken. And that leads me into my third point that I really, really love about the Enya X4 Pro, and that is the whole batch of accessories that this guitar comes with. I kind of totaled it up, and if you were to buy all of the accessories that this guitar comes with, it would be in the realm of about $150 to $200 just in accessories, not including the guitar, literally just the accessories. And first of all, again, just to highlight this case, super, super nice case. If you were to buy a case like this separately of the guitar, I would put this case at least at around $100 to $150 minimum. No question, just by itself, because it's that nice of a case. First of all, it's just great that it even comes with a hard shell case, let alone one this nice. But it also comes with some other great accessories. First of all, you get an instrument cable, which is always nice, super handy to have. You get this nice strap with the Enya logo. It's kind of like a faux leather kind of strap, pretty nice. And then you also get this box right here, I haven't actually opened yet other than to just peek inside. But this is actually, these are straps, there's 2 straps to turn the case. See if I can do this without dropping everything. You can turn the case into a backpack. So it's got these little latches here and then on the sides here too, where you can actually turn this case into a backpack and wear it on your back like this while you're like in the airport or like wherever on the way to a gig or something. And that's so cool because this case is freaking heavy. And so to be able to put this thing on as a backpack will definitely help a lot. And I think it's so cool. It's such a really neat, interesting thing and makes this case and the straps that come with it even more kind of valuable and useful. And I don't even know if this is like technically considered an accessory, but it also comes with this nice little, it's kind of like felt bag. I don't know if it's even felt, but it's kind of like felt. And it's kind of like a little bag for all the accessories to keep all your accessories together and stuff, because this stuff doesn't all like fit in the case very well. It's a little too crowded, but you can kind of just like put all that in there and then whoosh, just kind of squeeze it together and you got all your little accessories in there in the bag. And I think that's kind of nice. So you don't have to have them all over the place. Even if they're not all gonna fit inside of the case, you got them in a nice little bag so it's easy to take with you, toss in a backpack or a suitcase or whatever. But yeah, I know this is like a review of the guitar itself, but man, I'm just impressed with the accessories, because if you didn't get these things included with the guitar, you'd have to go buy this stuff, right? And maybe you don't need all of it. Maybe you don't really need the backpack thing for the case, or maybe you've already got a strap or you've already got an instrument cable. But if you were to buy all of this stuff separately, especially the case, it would be like $150 to $200 worth of accessories. And I think that's awesome that it comes with them, because most guitars don't come with those things. Okay, those are some things that I really, really love about the X4 Pro, but there are a couple small nitpicks that I have. The first one being that out of the box, I felt like the action was a little bit high. If you're not familiar, the action is just the height between the fretboard and the strings. Typically, you want that to be as low as possible, and the lower the action is, the easier the guitar will be to play and the more comfortable the guitar will be to play. So when I first pulled the X4 Pro out of the box, I felt like the action was a little bit high. It was definitely playable, but for a guitar in this price range, I would hope that the action would be a little bit better out of the box. Now, this is not uncommon at all, especially for guitars in this price range. Most of the time when you get a new guitar, you really want to get what's called a setup. And a setup is where you take it to a guitar shop, or you can do it yourself if you know how, and it basically just makes a bunch of small tweaks to the guitar to get this guitar set up as well as possible to your playing preferences. So that said, this does come with a tool to adjust the truss rod. So I made a small truss rod adjustment and that helped a little bit. The lower frets of this guitar from about 1 to 5 or 6 are totally good, totally playable, they're great. But as soon as you kind of get up 7, 9, 12, if you want to play anything kind of further up on the fretboard, it's a little higher than I would like it to be. And for me, that tells me what I need to do is next time I change the strings, which will be a while because these are elixirs, I need to take the saddle out here off of the bridge and sand it down a little bit that I can kind of get everything a little bit more level. All that said, this guitar does play really good and very comfortably out of the box, but for my personal preferences, I would want the action to be just a little bit lower. And the other very small nitpick that I have, and this is a very small nitpick, there is a small logo on the display for the tuner. And this is such a minor thing, but I find it distracting. It's clear, it doesn't affect the ability to use the tuner at all, and it's really not in the way or anything, but I don't know why, but anytime I tune, I just feel distracted by that. And it's such a minor thing, but I kind of wish if there had to be a logo on that tuner. It's just a small distraction on an otherwise really, really great guitar that I feel like is such a minor thing that could be changed or improved. And a small side note about that I will say, I got to try out the X4 Pro for the first time a few years ago, and it was actually an earlier iteration of this guitar. They since have made some small updates and changes, and one of those is that the original model of this guitar did not have a built-in tuner. It did have all of the effects, but it did not have a built-in tuner. And I personally mentioned to Enya, and I know several other creators mentioned to Enya, hey, with a guitar this clever and a guitar this cool, it should have a built-in tuner. And they listened, they put a tuner in it. So huge thumbs up for actually including the tuner now, but yeah, I wish that little logo wasn't there. It's such a minor thing on an otherwise amazing guitar, but it feels like an easy fix. All that said, I genuinely feel like the Enya X4 Pro is shockingly good for how affordable it is. For guitarists that are already interested in a carbon fiber guitar, you've probably done some research on carbon fiber guitars, and from my experience with carbon fiber guitars, the quality and features in the X4 Pro compete with guitars that are about 2 to 3 times the price of the X4 Pro. And I would also say that I've tried carbon fiber guitars that are about 2 or 3 times the price of this guitar, and I like this one better. And for guitarists that have never considered a carbon fiber guitar, this is a really amazing guitar for a really amazing price. Again, competes in my experience with guitars that are 2 to 3 times as expensive. It sounds really, really good, which some carbon fiber guitars don't. They sound like carbon fiber guitars. This does not necessarily sound like a carbon fiber guitar. If I was playing this with my eyes closed, I could be fooled that it's a more traditional wood guitar, which I think is great, and I think it's a good quality of a carbon fiber guitar to not sound like a carbon fiber guitar. And to be able to get that, but with all of the kind of durability features of a carbon fiber guitar, and not to mention all the other cool things about this guitar that it comes with, I think you can't do much better if you're interested in trying a guitar like this. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the Enya X4 Pro at the link in the description below, and hit me in the comments below as well if you have any questions about this guitar.